Hi everybody, today I want to talk about Sapphic books. Now by Sapphic books, I mean books in which one female identifying person loves another female identifying person, or WLW, women loving women. Now some of these other people have talked about, but I just wanted to fling my hat into the ring of books that have Sapphic representation that I have already read or have on my TBR. So I'm going to start off with three that I have read pretty recently: Geddy and the Ninth, Ice Masker, and The Abyss Surrounds Us. Now, The Abyss Surrounds Us is a future sort of dystopian. It's set in a world where people have harnessed the power of genetically modified sea monsters to protect ships. And our main character, Cassandra, is a sea monster trainer. This follows her being kidnapped by pirates and having to train a sea monster to survive. I really enjoyed it. I will read the sequel. The relationship between Cassandra and another girl on the crew is very will-they-won't-they throughout the book. It's not the focus, but it is a big part of the book, and I really liked Cassandra's whole character and how she was so sort of tough, and she's a really good sea monster trainer. Really enjoyed this, and I think you'll probably like it. Now, one that I don't have the physical copy of at the moment is Queen of Flarea by Effie Calvin, and that is a female-female romance, fantasy romance, and one princess is engaged to the prince of this kingdom. She's been training for it her whole life. However, before the marriage can take place, he dies, and she is now going to be engaged to his sister, who's now the heir to the throne. Really lovely book. I really liked it. It felt fan fictiony to me, but I mean that in a good way, as in, you know, when really good fan fiction just satisfies that like itch that you've got like deep inside. It's like satisfaction. The relationships are just great, and there's no unnecessary shite going on. I loved it. I will read the rest of the series, and I recommend it as well. So then, I think most of you are probably going to have read this, but it's Geddy and the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. This is a sci-fi fantasy where the universe is ruled by an emperor, and his sort of the people he's put in charge are in 9 houses, one of them being the 9th house, which is a house of necromancers. And in this, Gideon Nav is sort of forced into becoming the chevalier for the family of the 9th, and she and the 9th's heir have to go and take part in this competition. There's plenty of murder, there's plenty of fantasy, there's off-colour humour. I really like Gideon as a character. I'm really looking forward to the next book, which I believe comes out in August, and both Gideon and Harrow in this book are, I believe, Sapphic, and Gideon has an ongoing flirtation with one of the other heads of house in this book. So it's really good, really enjoyed it. It's an absolutely stunner of a cover. I can't wait to read Harrow and the 9th. I'm so looking forward to it. So next we have Ice Masker by Tiana Warner, and this is set in a sort of, it came across to me as like a Polynesian sort of environment, where this island is cut off from the mainland a lot by evil mermaids, and they send boys every year out to go and try and kill the mermaids, but they've never done very well, and now they've decided to send women instead, where men feel obviously women might do better. But in this one, where's Mila? The main character is chosen for this expedition but unbeknownst to the others on the expedition, she many years ago had a friend who was a young mermaid girl, and that's where the relationship is in this. Mila is a woman who loves another woman, or a mermaid. Still the same, I suppose. Now, on to some books that I have not read yet, and I've got so many I need to read. First one is Crier's War by Nina Varela. This absolute stunner of a cover, and it is set in a world where like automatons are in charge. So as far as I'm aware, this is an enemies to lovers romance, which is exactly right up my alley. So really looking forward to this one. Don't have a lot to say about these ones, I've not read yet. Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nyan, and this one is about a girl called Leigh, and she's a member of a sort of lower caste in this fantasy world, and the emperor, who's like the demon emperor, chooses a certain number of girls from that caste every year to become concubines. So there is trigger warning for sexual assault and kidnapping, things like that in this book if you're thinking about reading it. So I haven't really read an awful lot about it. I know that Leigh is taken to be a concubine, and this is about her sort of fighting against that and trying to get free. So the next book is actually out. I believe it's going to be a trilogy, but the second book is out, the third one is not. And then we have The Tiger's Daughter by Kate Arsenault Rivera, and this is set in a sort of Mongolian steppe inspired world, and I'm really looking forward to it because it's two princesses that are sort of married to each other. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and but I'm going to add this one onto my TBR for this month. I'm going to add this one onto my TBR for next month because I think it'll suit. And last of all, I have Lady Hotspur by Tessa Grattan, and this one has lady knights, there's Sapphic love, all that jazz. I'm looking forward to it. And look at this cover, I love it. So yeah, that is all the Sapphic books I have in my possession at the moment that I have either read or I'm going to read. I love watching people's videos recommending Sapphic books, so I will probably have watched your video if there is one. Adri from Perpetual Pages and Boston Reads Books have both done a couple, so I recommend them. And yeah, have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care. Bye.